Hello and welcome to the training for Get Found on Google. Today we're going to talk about how SEO can put your business in front of your target audience. So my name is Melanie and I build and transform brands and websites for purpose-driven entrepreneurs so they can thrive in their business and run their business with confidence. The way that I serve entrepreneurs is through branding, web design, and photography. Whether it be a new logo, a custom website, or a brand photo shoot, I'm able to help people transform their online presence. So today we are going to talk about how SEO can bring your audience to you. So we're going to discuss what is SEO, the benefits of SEO for your business. We're going to talk about fact versus fiction and how to boost your SEO ranking. And we're also going to look at acting local and thinking globally. And then tools to monitor your website growth. So let's take a look. What is SEO? So it stands for search engine optimization, and strategically it's a way that you can build your website on the front end and the back end in order to increase your website's ranking. Basically meaning when someone searches for your business services, you want to appear in the top search results, that first page. So depending on how your website is built, and the back end of it can help you show up and get found on Google when someone searches for your services. It's just a way to increase visibility and awareness in order to reach your target audience. So the benefits of SEO are being able to, like we said, get found by potential clients and not getting lost in all the traffic. So there's tons of businesses out there, tons of websites. So SEO just helps you to not get lost in all of that traffic. It puts you in front of your ideal audience. So, if you're a web designer in Georgia or New York or wherever you are, if someone searches for that in your city, you want to be able to show up in those results and be the first to be able to get to that client. SEO also helps put you ahead of competitors. So an optimized website can boost your ranking above your competitors whose websites may not be optimized. So that's definitely a great benefit. It helps build your credibility. So websites that appear on that first page search results are viewed as more credible sources. It's very, very, very rare that someone goes to the second page. If they're not finding what they are searching for on that first page, they usually just search for another keyword. So when you pop up on that first page, then it shows that you're credible. And it can also increase business revenue. So the more traffic that comes to your website, the more conversions, the more leads you get, it can result in more sales. So I want you to think about your website as your online home. So think about inviting your clients to your online party, right? So if you're having a party in your home, just like your physical home, what would you typically have? Like if you look at this picture, right? They're having a party, they're having a great time. Number one thing people love at parties is food, right? So when someone has a party at their house, they're going to have food, entertainment, games, fun people. So you're going to have something at your home party that's going to keep people engaged and keep them around and want to stay at your party and even come back to the next party. So when you think about your website, you can make your website an online party. So just think about it. Like, think about your industry. What do they need? What are they searching for? What do they want? And then you're on your website, you can deliver those things to them. So a lot of different ways to keep people engaged on your website is to have a website that's easy to navigate. You're speaking to their problems, to their pain points. It's almost like you're reading their mind of what they're looking for and you're providing the solution. You're building credibility. So, maybe you're educating them on the problem that they're having and how your business can help. Maybe you're educating them through blogs or webinars or trainings, but you're giving them something of value that will help them to connect with your business. So like, for example, our family is looking for a vet because we're about to get a new puppy. So we were looking for a vet and I'm looking at all these different vets in the area. And they're all great. They all kind of look the same. Some have just basic websites, some have fancy websites. But the more I was looking, there's this one vet in the area, and I connect the most with them because on their website they have a blog. And so we're a new dog owner. Will be our first dog. So I'm searching on their website all about dogs, what type of food, training a new puppy, brushing their teeth, everything that I want to know, they have on their blog. So I found myself, going to their website to get information. And so after a while, I'm like, wow, they kind of just stood out above the rest of the competitors because they just had videos, they had training, and it just made me like very comfortable that they knew what they were talking about when it came to having a pet and dogs and things like that. So I haven't visited the place yet, but most likely because of the value that they gave me from their website, that will be the vet that we pick. So when you think about your website, and every industry is different, what is the value that you want to give your audience so that they want to come to your online party, stay to your party, come back to your party, and then tell others and refer others to your party? And so that's a key thing. And also just delivering an excellent experience. So once you book those clients, you deliver an excellent experience, and definitely they will be talking about you and referring you to other people. So, all right, so let's talk about fact or fiction. So when I talk to people about SEO, a lot of times they have this idea of what SEO can do for them, and so for me, I'm thinking about how can I help people understand that SEO is not like this quick one-time fix of how to get their website on the front page. So fact or fiction, we're going to get the truth about SEO. SEO is fast, and in no time, I can own popular keywords and rank #1 on Google. So just tell yourself, what do you think? Is that fact or is that fiction? All right. So yeah, that is fiction. SEO, it's like a muscle, right? So like if you wanted to build muscle or lose weight, going to the gym one day and lifting a few weights, you're not going to expect to just be built and toned the next day, right? So if you think about SEO as working out a muscle, it's you're doing it consistently over time. So you've got great content, keywords, alt tags. You're bringing people are finding online. You're telling people to visit your website. The more people you have, the more traffic you have coming to your website. Google's going to start to notice and start to recommend you in search results. So SEO is not like this fast, quick thing that is just going to happen overnight. The longer you stick with it, the better results you're going to get, and the longer you monitor it, the better results you're going to get. Okay? All right, fact or fiction, great website content that connects with my audience can enhance my SEO ranking. So what do you think? Yes, so that is a fact. When you have really well written content that speaks to the problem of what you're solving and the solution that you give and the customer journey, then Google can understand and your audience can understand exactly what you do and who you serve and the solution you provide. All right, fact or fiction. My website speed does not affect my SEO ranking. What do you guys think about that one? All right, that is actually fiction. If your website is slow to load, visitors will drop off quickly. I mean, you know this. If you've gone to a website and the photos aren't loading, and it's like, how long are we going to wait? It's not going to wait very long, right? So you want to make sure your website is optimized. If you have, if you're a photographer and you have professional photos, you want to make sure your photos are not like the largest raw files, because that would take forever to upload. It's recommended that you upload them about 72 dpi, and with that you can test it out and make sure that you don't lose any quality in the photo. However, you do want to make sure that your photos are and your website is loading fast, because if not, I mean, I've done it myself, people drop off, they go and Google and go to a competitor's website. So you don't want to have people to wait to find the solution that you give. All right, fact or fiction, having a mobile-friendly website can help my SEO ranking. So this is actually fact. So over 60% of websites are viewed on mobile devices. If someone goes to your website, say on a mobile device, and it doesn't view correctly, like first impressions, that is a bad first impression. If they can't navigate and view your website on mobile, they're most likely going to drop off and go to a competitor. So high visitor, like if a lot of people dropping off of your website really fast, that can lower your SEO ranking. And Google does like to see websites that are mobile friendly. All right, fact or fiction. A website with user-friendly navigation enhances your SEO ranking. So yes, so whether you're on desktop, mobile, if someone can quickly click around and find what they're looking for, like your menus are named. I know sometimes we like to get creative, but name your menu items and your navigation button something that's clear and that can be understood by your audience. Have a clear about page or a clear gallery page, or your buttons are clear actions. It's telling them where the button is taking them. So you want people to be able to quickly find what they're looking for. You don't want them to have to hunt around for information, because if they're confused, they won't stick around very long, and confused minds will not buy. So eliminate confusion with a user-friendly navigation. All right, so let's talk about boosting your SEO. So here are some elements. I did a chart for you guys to kind of see elements that affect your SEO. So I've broken it up into 4 sections. You have your brand voice, your brand visuals, your brand experience, and your backend. So when you think of your brand voice, that's everything that you're speaking to your audience. Your content, your brand statement, keywords, mission, vision, everything that's written, text, all of that would be like the voice. How do you speak to your audience? Are you speaking to the problem? So when someone comes to the website, they have a problem. They want to be able to connect and say, okay, can you solve my problem? Am I confident that you'll be able to solve my problem? So brand voice is one way. So when you have all those things like in line, then that can boost your SEO. Because when your audience can understand what you do, they're more likely to purchase from you. And when Google can understand, when it's reading your content, it's more likely to know how to pop you up in the search results. All right, so brand visuals. So, a lot of times when people are on websites, I know with me, I'm just scrolling, looking at photos. I'll look at photos before I really go and read. So brand visuals, are your photos optimized? We talked about optimized photos, making sure that they load quickly. Do they connect? Like, are the photos relevant to what your business is and what you do? If you're a service-based business where you work with people one-on-one, you want to have photos that really show your personality and just really show who you are. You want your photos to tell a story. Also with your brand visuals, putting the alt tags on your photos. Each web platform does it differently, but there's a way to basically tag your photo to tell someone, to say someone who is blind is not able to see the text. The alt text helps them read the photo and what it is. So just a short description of what that photo is really helps with this accessibility, and that also helps boost your SEO ranking because Google does like that. Your brand experience, right? So when someone's on your website, is it user-friendly navigation? Is it strategically designed and laid out? Do you provide value and education? What's the experience of just browsing through your website? First impressions, would someone refer, just by the first impressions, would they refer you, or even would they want to book with you or even come back to your website? Does it build credibility? Those are some things you want to think about. And then on the back end, so this is the more technical piece of the SEO, your page title. So every page, like your home page, about page, you can put titles on that and descriptions on that, meta descriptions. You want to have friendly URLs, right? So avoid very long URLs. So like if you have an about page, you can just have like your domain /about. That's very clear, very short. Make sure all your links are working on your page. You can go in and test each page and make sure the links are working, putting in header tags, H1 tags, and then domain history does help with SEO. So like if you've had your domain registered for a long time and you've had your website up for a long time, that can help you boost your SEO ranking. Okay, so your SEO goals, right? So when you have an online presence, when you have a website, your goal is to drive traffic to your website. You want to get people to your website, right? Remember that online party? Like, how fun is a party if no one shows up, right? So how fun is a website if no one's showing up? So you want to drive traffic to your website. And remember we talked about, all the different elements of what you can put on your website to get people to stay on your website. So it's a great thing when people stay on your website longer because it means they're reading through, they're browsing, they're even maybe coming back. You want them to return to your website and then refer others to your website. And at that point, you'll start to see browsers becoming buyers, and it's going to increase your SEO ranking, your conversion rate, and your cash flow. So let's talk about this one part, act local and think global. So how to reach your local audience and then branch out. So when I was first starting out in business, I was thinking about like more going broad, like reaching people more broad than local. So going on social media and just connecting with people from all over the country. And then I learned to just, hey, you know what? Let me just find people in my local community that actually need my services. So your local market is a great, great place to start. You can aim for a specific region, your zip code, your city, and get increased engagement and traffic in that area. Just say you're a photographer and you can start with in your city, and then you can branch out to neighboring cities. And then if you want to, go statewide, and then go branch out that way. But if when you can get increased engagement in your local region and get people engaging on your website, that's going to get you noticed by Google. That's going to boost your SEO. That's going to get you more business, and then begin to branch out, right? So you want to act local and think global. So a great way to do this is starting your Google My Business. So this is a great free account that Google offers so that your local audience can find you. And I will show you what that looks like. So with Google My Business, a great way to reach your local audience. Like I said, it's free. If you have a Gmail account, you can just Google My Business. If you have a Gmail account, you can log in and they'll get you set up. What you can do here, though, is put a link to your website. And this is a great place where you can get Google reviews. So when you deliver a great experience for your clients, send them here to your Google My Business and have them leave a 5-star review. You can also set your business hours. If you have an appointment scheduler, you can link to that as well. You can add your business phone number. If you have products, whether they're free products or paid products, you can add those things. And then you also can add your product photos as well. So say for an example, someone is searching for a business coach in Asheville, North Carolina, and they say business coach, Asheville, North Carolina. When you have your Google My Business ready and up, and you've built it out, then you can show up as a business in the search results, and then you're giving yourself a great chance for people to find you at this point. You're no longer lost in the crowd. You're standing out. So this is a great way to reach your local audience. And so when you have all your information here, they can contact you, set an appointment, things like that. So Google My Business is really, really awesome. I recommend it for every business to have. Okay, so monitoring your website traffic. So there are free tools, right? So that you can track visitor behavior and website data. So Google Analytics is a great free tool where you can learn how to understand your customers' behavior better. You can get stats such as total site visits, bounce rate. Bounce rate is when how like the rate that someone is jumping off of your website. If people are bouncing off, they're coming and they're leaving very quickly. You want to know that. So I noticed, like for me, when I was monitoring my page on my about page, people were bouncing off quickly. So I'm like, okay, well, this is an opportunity for me to go in and maybe add some more valuable data or content on my about page, more written content to describe myself and my business better so that people aren't bouncing off as quickly. So you do want to know things like this, the average time on your website and the demographics, like who's mostly coming. Is it mostly males, females? What's the age bracket? What's the region? This is great information to know because then depending on what the data is, it can help you to adjust your website and also know who you're serving and who's interested in your services. Google Search Console is also a great free tool. You can view your website search traffic and performance, know what website issues to fix as well. So this is more of just like if there's any type of HTML errors, anything that may be performance-wise affecting your website, Google Search Console is a great place to start there. And I've put the links here. So for Google Analytics, the website is analytics.google.com, and the Google Search Console is search.google.com. All right, so just want to recap what we've talked about today. Getting found on Google, introduction to SEO. We talked about what is SEO. It's a way to increase your visibility of your website in order to reach your audience. We talked about the business benefits, getting found by potential clients, turning browsers into buyers, and increasing your revenues. We debunked some myths, fact versus fiction, and we discussed how SEO is a muscle that you build over time. We also talked about boosting your SEO and how the goal is to drive traffic to your website and turn browsers into buyers. And also act local, think global. So think about reaching your local audience with a Google My Business account and then naturally branch out to other regions. And then free tools to help you get started, Google Analytics and Google Search Console. So I hope this was helpful today, and I hope you all are able to take this information so that you can get found on Google by turning your online home into a place that attracts and books your ideal clients. If you have any questions, feel free to connect with me online. My email is hello@melanieluttrell.com. I am also on LinkedIn and Instagram at Melanie Luttrell Grandois. So thank you for your time, and you guys have a great day.